Good evening there, CJ Math students. So tonight I'm doing a video of quiz 1, and the reason why I'm doing that video is because on your quiz corrections you have to copy down your mistake, but then you have to copy down the right work, and so this video will show you the right work. So you may zoom ahead in this video to copy down the correct work, write down everything that I write down. That's the only way you'll get full credit for quiz corrections, and then you need to explain the difference between your work and my work. Tell me why you got the problem wrong, or if there was something that you didn't understand, what you do understand now. Give me good responses on those quiz corrections, otherwise you won't get half your points back. So, number 1, which of the following sets of decimals is in order from least to greatest? Stack your correct answer to show your work. So, least to greatest, I'm looking at here, I have 0.19 coming up first, 0.2. 0.2 we know is really 0.20. 0.09 and 0.1. So really, you just have to look at the answer choice that starts with the smallest number. That happens to be C. C is your answer choice. And then, like I said, stack your correct answer. So I have 0.09, 0.1, and then you fill in a 0, 0.19, and 0.2, and then you fill in a 0. So as you can see, that's now in order from least to greatest, going 9, 10, 19, 20. Right? Which of the following decimal values is equivalent to fraction 1/8? Use your reference sheet. This answer was on your reference sheet. All you have to do is flip it over to the side and find out what 1/8 is. It's 0.125. The amount of people that selected 1.8 just because they saw a 1 and an 8, no, this is incorrect. Circle it, X it off. Do not just say, oh, it's 1.8 because I saw a 1 and an 8. Now, how do I prove it? You use long division. So I say, how many times does 8 go into 1? Well, it doesn't, so I put a decimal, and then I say, how many times does 8 go into 10? It goes in there 1 time. I have 2 left over. Put a 0, bring it down. How many times does 8 go into 20? It goes in there 2 times. I have 4 left over. Put another 0, bring it on down. How many times does 8 go into 40? It goes in there 5 times. And look at that. That's how we get 0.125. Number 3, Natalie, Jacqueline, Christy, and Destiny competed against each other in the long jump. Here are the distances they jumped. All those distances right there. Which of the following shows the names in order from greatest to least? Stack your decimals to show your work. So let's just start off by stacking your decimals. I have 15.14, I have 15.2, 0, right? This is N for Natalie. Oops. Sorry about that. This is N for Natalie, C for Christine. Jacqueline's up next, 15.099. These are not in order, by the way. I'm just stacking my decimals. All right, and then Destiny's last, 15.16, and then fill in a 0. So from greatest to least, so who won the competition, right? Who jumped the longest? Well, that's Christine, right? Because they all jumped 15 feet, but then Christine jumped 15.2, and everybody else jumped less than that. So Christine should be first. Any answer that doesn't have Christine first is wrong. So the answer's got to be B, right? Order the set of decimals from least to greatest. Stack the decimals to show your work. So first, all we have to do is stack. We don't have to order them yet. So 15.0421, 14.52, head in zeros. 14.521, add in a 0, and 15.421, add in a 0. All right, so the smallest one. So the 15s are out from being the smallest one. So now I'm down to the 14.521 versus 14.520. 520 is smaller. So 14.52 is the smallest one, followed by the next 14.521. That was 1. That was 2. Now I'm down to these two. So compare 15.0421 versus 15.421. The 0421 is smaller. So 15.0421, then 15.421. Making sure we're filling in zeros, right? All right. Now, compare the following using less than, greater than, or equal to. Stack the decimals. Remember, you point at the smaller number, each the bigger number, right? So let's go ahead and say 28.003. This is 28.03, and we fill in a 0. So 28 and 30 versus 28 and 3, this one's larger, so we're going to point at the smaller one. So our answer is less than. 39.020 versus 39 0.0200. Well, I just fill in a 0, and look at that, they are equal. So our answer is equal. 15.6243 versus 15.6234. So the only difference here is these guys, since this is 43 versus 34, this one's larger, so we're going to point at the 34, so greater than is our answer. So here we're going to use the butterfly method. 1 times 10 is 10, 6 times 9 is 54. So what's greater, 10 or 54? 54. 4 times 7 is 28. 9 times 3 is 27. So what's greater? 28. Point at the 27 because it's smaller. 9 times 2 is 108 versus 10 times 11, which is 110. So what's greater? 110 is greater, so point at 108, less than. Okay. Backside. Jarius jumped a distance of 21.24 feet during the long jump competition. Jonathan jumped a distance of 23.1 feet. How much longer was Jonathan's jump? So this means subtraction. A lot of us didn't understand that. And we want to subtract the bigger number minus the smaller number. So we want to say, first, we want to say 21.4 feet. So, sorry, 21.24 is on the bottom, 23.1 is on the top. So 23.1 minus, and line up your decimals, 21.24. Now we fill in a 0, right? Now we subtract. So we need to borrow here from this 0. It becomes 10 minus 4 is 6. We have to borrow from the 3, becomes a 2, carry that 1. So then 10 minus 2 is 8. 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 minus 2 is 0, so 1.86 is the answer. Justin had $49. He spent $35.89 on a new Xbox game. How much money does Justin have left? That have left again is a subtraction. You must show your work. So say 49 first minus 35.89. I need to fill in 0, so that means 49.00 goes right there. So let's borrow, because I can't do 0 minus 9, 0 minus 8. Borrow from the 9, that becomes an 8. This becomes a 10, but then I got to borrow again from it and carry that over there. So 10 minus 9 is 1, 9 minus 8 is 1. Put your decimal down. 8 minus 5 is 3, 4 minus 1 is 13, 13, 11. Lining up your decimals was key on these problems, guys. I think a lot of us made mistakes because we didn't line up our decimals, therefore we borrowed wrong. 13, if our new puppy Kenzie grows at a rate of 2.2 inches per month, that'd be a lot, by the way. How many inches will she have grown in 1 year or 12 months? You must show your work. So this is a multiplication, right? Per month, or how many per month, right? We're multiplying. If it was just 1 month, it would be 2.2. Think of a reasonable answer, right? Think about if it's just 1 month, 2.2 inches in 1 month. Think about if it was 2 months. Well, that'd be like 4.4 inches, right? Now 12 months. So really you're doing like 2 times 12. And which one of these is closest to 2 times 12? It's C. But let's show our work. So 2.2 times 12. We don't have to line up decimals here. We just go ahead and multiply. So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. Got to lay an egg. Some of us forgot to do that. And then we do 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 2. Add it up. We get 4, 6, 2. Now here's the key thing. You have 1 decimal place here. So you should have 1 decimal place in your answer. So right there, move it. Goes right there. 26.4 should be your answer. Solve the following multiplication problem. All you had to do was count your decimals here, and then we just had to go to work and multiply. So I'm going to start this over here. So 5.12 times 2.5. Again, you do not need to line up your decimals when you multiply. So 5 times 2 is 10, so put down a 0, carry a 1. 5 times 1 plus 1 is 6. 5 times 5 is 25. Lay your egg. Then 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 5 is 10. Let's add it up. So 0, this is 6 plus 4 is 10, so carry a 1 right here. 1 plus 5 plus 2 is 8. 2 plus 0 is 2. 1. Some of you picked this answer. You said, oh, it must be this answer because this is at least kind of close. No, you have, remember, 3 decimal places. 2, 1, so you should have 3 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3. There you go. So 12.8 was your answer. Plus, guys, just estimate, right? This is about 5. This is about 2 or 3, right? 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. It's got to be between 10 and 15. And the only answer that's between 10 and 15 is D. Got to use your estimation skills. Right? Round each to the place indicated. Circle the number you looked at to determine your answer. Remember, you circle the number behind the underlined number. So 9 is underlined here. So 3 tells me I stay the same, because 4 or less, I stay the same. So it should be 2.89 should be your answer. Look at the 1. 4 or less again, stay the same. So it rounds down to 500. Look at 16. Yeah, 7 or higher. So we're going to round up. So it should be 9.09A. And then look at 7 again, 7 or higher, 5 or higher. So that rounds up to 10, but since you can't put 10 there, it becomes bumped over, carry a 1 here, so it's 20. So D. All we were doing on these problems were plugging in, guys, plugging in to solve for x. So on this one, they wanted you to plug in 1, so it should be 1 plus 7 is 8. 2 plus 7 is 9. 3 plus 7 is 10. And 4 plus 7 is 11. This one, you had to multiply. Remember, this got changed to a plus sign in the middle of the test. So it's 2 times 0 plus 1. That's not 20. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 gives your answer of 1. Then 2 times 1 plus 1. That's not 21. That's 2 times 1, which is 2 plus 1 gives you 3. And then 2 times 2 plus 1. That's not 22. That's 2 times 2, which is 4 plus 1 gives you 5. Last page. Change each improper fraction to a mixed number. All right, we had to simplify. So many people did not simplify. So 8 into 22. 8 goes into 22 2 times. We get 8 left over. Sorry, no, 6 left over. So a lot of us said, first of all, our answer, because it was 2 and it should be a 6, my fault. So I'm putting 8. 6/8, right? We said, oh, I see 2 and 6/8 right there. That must be the answer. But you had to simplify. These are both even numbers. You can divide by 2. So your real answer should have been 2 and 3/4. Right? 12 into 51. You use your reference sheet. 12 goes into 51 4 times. Sorry, 4 times. So we get minus 48 with 3 left over. So our answer looks like it's 4 and 3/12, but we know that 3 and 12 can both be divided by 3. We can simplify them. So my real answer should be 4 and 1/4 D. So many people didn't simplify. These problems down here were super simple, changing mixed numbers to improper fractions. All you do is 8 times 3, which is 24, and add it to the 1. So your answer should be 25/3. That's A. Next problem, you should just do 9 times 5, which is 45. 45 plus 4 is 49. So you get 49. And you keep the denominator over 5. B. All right, adding fractions. We had to find common denominators. So if I'm looking at 8 and 4, the multiples of 8, 16, 24, the multiples of 4, 4, 8. Oh, there's our common denominator right there. So I got to make sure that both fractions become 8. 3/8 is already 8, so I'll just say 3/8 plus 1/4. Got to make it 8 and multiply it by 2. So it becomes 2/8, because 1 times 2 is 2, 4 times 2 is 8. So we add these together. Sorry, that plus sign should not be there. Let's add these up. 3 plus 2 is 5, and you keep the denominator. So 5/8. So D is your answer. 26, again, the multiples, let's say 9, let's say 3. 9, 18, 27, let's look at the multiples, 3, 9, up. There's our common denominator right there. So 5/9 is good to go. Don't need to do anything to it because it's already got 9. And then 2/3, I need to make it 9, so I multiply top and bottom by 3. So I get 6 over 9. 5 plus 6 is 11 over 9. And then some of you freaked out. You're like, wait, 11/9 isn't there. That's because this is improper. Can't have improper fractions for your answer because I said simplify. So 9 goes into 11 one time with 2 left over. So there's your answer, 1 and 2/9. So C was your answer. All right, and last two problems. So you had 2 and 5. This was a subtraction problem. So let's put 2 and 5 up here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 5, 10. Oh, there it is. So we need to make them both 10. So what do I do to 1/2? I multiply it by 5 because again I want to make it 10. What I do to this 5 because I want to make it 10, I multiply by 2. So our new denominator, our new fractions are 8 and 5 over 10 minus 5 and 4 over 10. So 8 minus 5 is 3, 5 minus 4 is 1, 10. 3 and 1/10, D. And the last one was an addition problem again, so we have 4 and 3. So 4, 8, 12, 16. And then we have 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, there it is right there. So I want to make both denominators 12. So I'm going to multiply the 3/4. How do I make it 12? I multiply by 3. So 4 times 12 is 3. How to make 3 become 12? I multiply by 4. So our new fractions become 2 and 9 over 12 plus 8 and 4 over 12. Add these up, I get 10. And 9 plus 4 is 13 over 12. And that fraction right there is improper. And because that fraction is improper, I have to put 10 off to the side. I'm going to add to whatever 12 13ths is. Well, 12 goes into 13 one time with 1 left over. So it becomes 1 and 1/12. Sorry, I'll move this 10 over. So basically, this section right there is worth 1 and 1/12, and I need to add that to my whole number, 10. So 10 plus 1 and 1/12 gives me 11 and 1/12. Right? The improper fraction turned in to say, hey, we got another whole number that we can add to 10, and there's our fraction, 11 and 1/12. So A is your answer. Make sure you're copying all work down. Make sure you're giving me good explanations to get half your points back on your quiz.